Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another fiery fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So, what exactly are we going to be playing today? Well, if you kind of notice, there's been a really big, powerful deck that's been overtaking the standard format. And you know what? I had a bit of a curiosity about it because, honestly, it's in the colors that I do enjoy playing with, but it's also a very expensive deck. However, I found a way to kind of make it work in Arena on a budget. But how did I make that work? Well, we're about to show you right now. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it right now and show you what exactly am I talking about here. All right, jump in right now. All right. Oh, there we are. Nice. Okay. Oh, Sneaky Toilet, welcome, my fire friend. Good morning, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So the deck we're going to be playing today is going to be, I'm simply just calling it Prowess Power. So the only way I was able to get this deck to actually work technically on my arena budget that I hold myself to, which is about 12 rares or less, is I literally had to make the mana base as simple as possible. You can see right here where I'm literally just working with all basics. That's how cheap I tried to make this to still arguably make it viable for anybody else that wants to play this in standard. So that's how it's going to work today. Ah, the otters with all the draw. Yes, yes, yes. So it looks fun. I'm sure some people are going to hate it, but I found a way, of course, I literally have it down to the core. So it's only 12 rares, just total across the board, and everything else is just all comments and uncomments. Like, had to cut it to just the basics. But that's what we're going to do today. Do not worry, as always. Here, the game plan is still going to be the same. We'll talk about the deck overall in general. We'll go over the stats. We'll then play as many matches as we can in ranked. And then a little bit halfway through the stream, we'll upgrade the deck, go all out with it, and see how well the real deal does in the format over the next couple hours. So that's the whole game plan, everybody. For those of you that are brand new to this, if you're curious about this, and if you're interested maybe just plugging in your own actual version of it, or maybe you just want to copy paste it, do not worry. As always, there will be, of course, deck links located in the details of these streams as soon as we are done later today. So let's go ahead, let's just jump into right now and talk about the deck and the stats. So all those of you that are, of course, longtime viewers of the channel, you know how it goes. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So our Prowess Power deck, i.e. Izzet, is going to be, of course, blue and red. Average mana curve is actually pretty low at 1.5. And we're only going to be rocking actual 8 creatures in the deck. We have 17 sorceries, 7 instants, 7 artifacts, 4 enchantments, and 20 lands. Wait, did I say that right? No, 17 instants, 7 sorceries, 4... I don't know. I'm messing myself up there. Anyway, it's kind of early where I am. But either way, you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, so as far as going back to the actual deck itself, if you haven't been playing standard or been living under a rock like sometimes I have, here's how it basically works. You're just going to, of course, just try to cast one of your main creatures here. Your Monastery Swiss here, your Slick Shot Show Off. And you want to just sling a ton of spells, pumping them up to an insane value, and just smash your way to victory. However, we do have actually a sneaky way of getting a go-wide strategy going. So we'll talk about that in just a second, but let's kind of go over the list right now of stuff. So for the actual creatures that I just mentioned right now, Slick Shot Show Off, of course, Flying Haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, get a +2/+0 until end of turn. You can also plot it for 2 mana. By plotting it, you kind of just put it away into exile. Your opponent can see that, of course. However, later on, you can then cast it for free. This is a big deal for the deck for a specific reason, and again, we'll talk about that in just a second with our support pieces. The other creature, as I just mentioned earlier, was Monastery Swiftspear. Try to intrude, Swiftspear still gets the job done. She has haste and prowess, so that means, of course, whenever we cast a non-creature spell, she'll get +1/+1 until end of turn. So not as strong as, say, the Slick Shot Show Off, but she can still do some massive damage if your opponent is not ready for it. Now, in terms of getting these two pumped up, we'll need a little bit more support. So the other 2 pieces of it is going to be Storm Chaser's Talent here. So when this class enters, you get to make a cute little 1/1 otter. Oh, it's so cute, by the way. But seriously, this card, even just playing it as is, you don't even have to give it to level 2 or 3. That Prowess Otter can do, again, a lot of damage if your opponent is not prepared to handle it. However, if you can somehow grind out the game, you can then pump it up to level 2, which means that you can then bring back an instant or sorcery from our graveyard to our hand. If by some reason the game goes beyond longer than that, you can then pay 5 mana, and then you can cast an instant or sorcery, and then create another blue or red otter creature token with prowess. So this can get out of control if you have to grind it out beyond that. And the only other piece that's going to help us get a ton of creatures out is going to be, yes, we have to talk about it, one and only Corey Steelcutter. So, man, I really didn't think this equipment was going to do that much damage. So honestly, I'm kind of happy that we get at least one decent equipment right now in standard, because usually when it comes to equipment always ends up getting the short end of the stick. They usually never do too well. But of course, the ones that do work are absolutely busted. Sneaky Toilet. My High Noon slaps this deck because Corey Steel Cutter relies on 2 cards. I low-key love facing that deck. Okay, well, I'm glad it actually works out for you. I mean, we kind of showed on stream a couple days ago, we wanted to make it work, and it kind of did, but we didn't get to face off against any Izzet prowess decks enough to kind of make High Noon viable. But hey, I'm glad it works out for you. Any case, going over to the Corey Steel Cutter, for those of you that still do not know, this card is insane. It just simply is a 2-mana red artifact that just says, equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and have haste. However, the flurry mechanic is where this card shines. Whenever we cast our second spell each turn, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess, and then you can attach this equipment to it, basically making it a hasty 2/2 creature, and that's kind of how we're just going to work. We just want to cast off 2 spells, which will of course pump up Slickshot Show Off, Monastery Sorcerer, Storm Chaser's Talent, Corey Steel Cutter. Nice about this card is you don't have to have instants or sorceries for that. It can be any spells, and this will trigger it off. So this can get insane if your opponent is not prepared for it. There obviously are going to be some ways you can still get around that, but we'll talk about ways how we can fight against the anti-Corey Steel Cutter, if you will. I guess that means it's anti-Corey Steel Cutter? I mean, you get the idea. Stickman Jake, hello, good morning, my fiery friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You're kind of just catching us right now as we're coming over the best deck, arguably, in Standard right now. So in order for this game plan to work, as I mentioned, we need to definitely just cast off a bunch of spells. So we are definitely going to be low to the curve. We're going to be utilizing 3 ops. 3 sleight of hands to help us, again, just get stuff going here. We're also going to utilize Burst Lightning. Can be either a burn spell or it can be spot removal, whatever we need to in a pinch. You can scale it up later on with the kicker cost to make it 4 damage. That kicker cost actually sometimes is helpful depending on where we are in the match. So don't be afraid to then spend a little bit more if you're close to closing it out against your opponent. We're of course going to throw in, again, everyone's favorite, Monstrous Rage. But again, in our deck today, this is definitely going to be a card that shines a ton. For that single mana, of course, giving our creature a +2/+0 pump and then a monster roll token arguably makes it then a +3/+1 pump and then allows it to keep that monster roll token, giving it, again, trample with that +1/+1 power up. And then finally, of course, I did make some small tweaks to my version of the deck. So for ours, we're going to add in 2 copies of Into the Floodmaw. And again, this is mostly to handle any of the artifacts or champs that our opponent throws at us that we don't want to deal with, i.e. our 2 main weaknesses to this deck are going to be Authority of the Consuls, a mono white enchantment, and the other mono white enchantment is going to be High Noon. So High Noon shuts this deck down a ton. In other words, the card itself, for those that don't know, we'll just type it in real quick, kind of give you an idea. So this is our biggest weakness to this deck. High Noon right here. If we cannot cast more than 1 spell a turn, our deck fizzles a ton. So in order to deal with this, that's why we have Into the Floodmaw here. You can either bounce away a creature an opponent controls to its opponent's hand, or if we can give them the gift of a tapped fish, we can just bounce away any non-land permanent for 1 mana. So this is actually one of the reasons why we have this in there. Just a couple copies, enough to at least just keep ourselves afloat so we can just finish off our opponent. The other main card in the deck that we don't want to deal with, of course, is going to be Authority of the Consuls. I can kind of pull that up right here. So yeah, this is the other card that's the bane of our existence because it forces all of our creatures to enter tapped and they will gain life, which kind of slows down our deck a ton. But that's, again, handled with Into the Floodmaw. So as long as we can bounce away stuff, these cards shouldn't have become much of a problem for us. So just an FYI for y'all. Now, the other main tweak that I give to the deck is I put out Spell Pierce. That was actually in the main meta version of it, but for my version right here, it's a little more expensive, but we're also going to utilize Don't Make a Sound. There's a specific reason why. Although this counters actually any spell unless our opponent pays 2, which is a little more expensive than Spell Pierce here, there is at least one kind of caveat to this. With Don't Make a Sound, if they do manage to pay the 2, then we can Surveil 2. At the very least, that can help us kind of filter out our next draw, so this way we're not completely going to fizzle. So that's the reason why, in theory, I'm willing to spend 1 extra mana just to give us a little bit of backup insurance, depending on what our opponent throws at us. And then finally, another card that's insanely expensive right now in paper. I mean, seriously, this uncommon, I think, is right now, like, what is it now? Is it $10? $12? I gotta look this up again. Like, I was like, oh, cool, I want to add this to one of my Spellslinger decks for my actual paper commander deck. Then I realized how much it was. I was like, oh no, we're not paying that. That's just too much for an uncommon. But seriously, right now, uncommons are just so good right now. Like this, Stock Up, and then Monstrous Rage. These 2 cards alone, Into the Floodmaw. These are actually really expensive for uncommon. So yeah, just be aware of that again if you want to get these in paper. I would definitely say if you haven't already gotten them, just kind of hold off a bit. You don't need to get them that badly. But again, stock up, really, really good. 3 mana sorcery that just lets you dig 5 cards deep, and you can put 2 of those cards into your hand. So that's the reason why this card is absolutely good for our deck. Literally can just help us sometimes rebound from anything our opponent throws at us. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a budget deck, or at least this is as budget as we can make it. So literally the only cord that requires just those rares will be the Slickshot Show Off, Storm Chaser's Talent, and the Corey Steel Cutter. So 12 rares, which is pretty good, at least in Arena. I know, of course, in paper, this deck is stupid expensive. So don't spend the money on it if you are, unless you're going to be a tournament grinder. But otherwise, to make sure that we can afford to play this right now in Arena, we're just keeping it as basics. Literally as simple as can be. We don't even want tap lands. And the reason why you don't want tap lands for this is going to be you really don't want to have tap lands on a turn that you might need an untapped land, even if it's a basic, because that might put you in a spot where if you have a tap land, you're going to screw yourself over. So that's literally why we're just going to go with as the simplest basics. 10 islands, 10 mountains. That's it. Now we're going to, of course, play a little bit in best of 3 later on today, so we'll, of course, putting in those spell pierce if we need to for more counterspell shenanigans. If we need to deal with any artifact shenanigans or just spot removal, we have upgrades. 2 pyroclasms once we start pumping up our team and we don't really need to worry about certain creatures, or if we just did our swing and we want to just kind of close it out and make sure our opponent doesn't have stuff, pyroclasm. 2 damage to each creature. If our opponent is still messing with us with a ton of extra artifacts and enchantments, if we need to in a pinch, we can use filter out here to just bounce everything back that's a non-creature, non-land permanent. So this way we can clear the board and just hopefully just swing. Extra copies of Into the Floodmaw here, just in case we need to just keep bouncing more stuff as well. Torch the Tower here. We can sacrifice 1 or 2 of our tokens to give it 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, and then we get Scry. If we do that, however, we can then exile the opponent's item, whatever it is, creature or planeswalker. Since we have we may have a graveyard hit we might want to deal with here, Soul Guide Lantern is going to be our best budget option for us for this deck. And then finally, to round out the whole package here, we'll have at the bottom Witchstalker Frenzy. Just a single copy of this, which can deal 5 damage to a target creature. As long as we are swinging, it'll cost a little bit less for each creature that attacked in a turn. So that's the whole game plan for you, everybody. Can we pull off with just basics the best deck in Standard? Well, there's only one way to find out. So let's go ahead and play this in the Standard format, and let's see how well it does. All right, so with that, Standard ranked. All right, and don't worry, again, we will talk about the upgraded version, the main real meta version, a little bit later today. With that, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so yeah. So while we're doing this right now, question for everybody that's watching right now. Again, we're in the middle of the spoiler season for Final Fantasy. Y'all excited? Interested in anything? Do you dislike it? Let me know what your thoughts are about the cards that are being revealed. We'll talk about them and I'll probably highlight 1 or 2 of them in a upcoming couple of YouTube shorts, because there's definitely some cool stuff that's coming out within a month. Stickman Jake, why use the untapped lands if you control a mountain or island? Is the the untapped lands if you control a mountain or island, tap for 2 colors. Oh, again, I'm just trying to make this as budget as possible, at least for the first part. But don't worry, we'll talk about that a little bit later on once we get to the non-budget version. Good question though on that one. All right, so with this, so we can get in our early game damage with the Swift Spear. We have the Slickshot Show Off. All right, let's get this going. Monster Swift Spear, swinging away. First blood. All right, opponent, what do you got? What do you got? Okay, mice it is. All right, so we got to find a way to get around the mice ASAP. So, Slickshot Show Off for now. We're just going to swing. Swing, swing, swing. Sneaky Toilet. I love the idea, but I've never gone to look at the cards. I've only ever played Final Fantasy XII, which wasn't everyone's cup of tea. I know that one. I've had friends play that one. That one was a bit of a, I guess, a controversial one. No, well, maybe not controversial, but it just felt like for some people out there, it didn't feel like Final Fantasy, if you will, just based on how the system looked. But it seemed like it was fun to me. I didn't really play. Yeah, I'm not a Final Fantasy person, so I'm not going to pretend like I've been some hardcore fan for like years. There are some games I have enjoyed in the series, though. All right, in the meantime, let's play. Okay, I want to make sure we do this right here. So first off, Corey Steel Cutter. All right, pump, pump, pump. All right, and then opt. There we go. Making the tokens now. We will then dig into... Okay, we definitely could use another land. That helps us out a bit. Is this enough? This deck is as literally as fast as it can be, so it's definitely my kind of cup of tea with just smashing ASAP. Alright, let's see. What else you got, opponents? Soul Guide Lantern, alright. I mean, that's fine. We don't really care that our graveyard gets eaten up. Not a big deal for us. Okay, opponents. Do they have enough? 2 mana, and they can do 5 damage right now. Ooh, drawing a card? Well, that helps us out. I don't think our opponent has the answers. Do they? Any spot removal? Burn spell? Anything, opponent? Maybe? What do you got? Opponent's still looking. They are swinging. All right. That's a desperation swing. So in other words, I don't think they have it. I don't think they have it. Callous Sellsnort. Ooh. Out of 4. No, they actually got us. Wow. Out of nowhere, they beat us down. Jeez. Dang. I thought they didn't have it there. But, okay. Well, there you go, everybody. Still, Mice still is our biggest, offensive threat there. They managed to just get us out of nowhere there. All right. That's okay. It's not a big deal, but definitely still, Mice still can be a threat in the format. But we do know that from what I've seen, the Izzet prowess has kind of overtaken the Mouse deck, but it is a viable deck still. Yeah, he got us out of nowhere there, Sneaky Toilet. I was not expecting the Callous Sellsword. I really thought it was just mono red, and I guess he still had it. Okay. But sometimes that's why you can't always expect and assume that it's always going to be an easy win. Okay, so for this hand, oh, we can't cast anything with this. This is not good for us. So let's mulligan. Oh. We'll have to keep this one. Not ideal, but let's see. How do I want to? Which land do I want to put back? I'll put back the island, because we can always use sleight of hand to dig out more stuff. I think he would have won if he had Floodmaw to send his mouse back home. Yeah, that would have helped, but yeah, we didn't have it that time. It's okay though. It's not a big deal. Okay, our opponent is going to be the Pixie Bounce. I think that's what we're dealing with here. So with that, island and sleight of hand. I want to see if we can dig out some answers here. Okay, so we can get the Monstrous Rage and into the Floodmaw. Huh. Let's get out... They're going to be bouncing stuff. This one's a tricky one. I want to keep the Monstrous Rage, but... Okay, we'll get the Floodmaw. Because I'm going to try to see if I can bounce what they're going to bounce. If that makes sense. Tap land? Okay. So with that... They bought away stuff, so we'll wait for a little bit to see what else they play. At least now the show-off is going to be protected. Okay, opponent, what else you got? Show me what you got. Fear of Isolation. All right, so here come their bounce shenanigans. But okay, we find ways to get around this. At least we will try. Okay, so with that, we're just going to have to wait, because we're getting a little awkwardly flooded here, which is not ideal, but that's okay. So I hate versus the Pixie Bounce deck. I spit on them. P2. Oh, you're not a fan of that deck? I mean, I don't blame you, because it just feels like they have infinite cards, because they just keep bouncing everything back and forth. Alright, speaking of which, we'll throw away one of our extra lands that we don't need. Okay, opponent, what else you got? Momentum Breaker. Okay. Okay. Alright, opponents. Throw away another island. We have the mana we need, so that's not the problem. We just need to start getting stuff out like Cordy Steelcutter and whatnot. Opponent swings. But they're tapped out now, so this might be our turn. We're going to have to start doing our shenanigans. Alright, deck, come on. Okay, still not quite where I want to be at. Okay, well, you now kind of see where the deck also has its issues, because you can see right here we have no gas. Our opponent has plenty to work with here, and they can just start discarding all of our cards. Even if I throw out the show-off, I could do one massive swing, but that's not enough. Because all it's just going to do is they'll just blow it up and then just eventually outpace us anyway. So we'll see if we can try to get something here. A stock up would be really nice right now. Really nice. Come on, deck. Come on. I believe in you. Give me a draw. Okay, into the Flood Maw. Not quite what I need right now. All right. We might be in a bad spot right here. I can use the end of the Flood Maws if I need to, but bouncing away their stuff doesn't help us. Ironically, that's what they want. Oh boy. All right. But as long as they just keep swinging and not playing anything, I think we still have time to rebuild. Maybe. Okay, start your engine number 4. Okay. Don't make a sound, I guess, is not bad. All right, this might be our turn right here. All right, let's give it a try. We came here for a reason. All right, in that case, then we can swing. I want to see if they do anything. They do not. Okay. We're going to wait it out for a little bit here. Nowhere to run. All right, don't make a sound. So at least we can counter that. Excuse me. Okay, so we still have a little bit to work with here, but again, I don't want to bounce their stuff, so jeez, what a really bad matchup for us. Momentum breaker again. Okay. And unfortunately, we cannot bounce away our own stuff because this is for an opponent, so we lose our Slick Shot off either way. Yeah, he's holding on to his creature removal, so no matter what we do, unless if I can get a Corey Steelcutter out, I don't think I'm going to be able to get around this. We'll try. Oh, come on, deck. Come on. Where is our support or card draw? Anything. The one time I don't want our bounce stuff. Unbelievable. All right, well, that's fine. I mean, sometimes you have that kind of luck, so, I mean, I don't know what else to say, except we're just going to have to wait it out a little bit longer. This is just agonizing, though, because, again, opponent doesn't have to play anything, realistically. They can just kind of keep doing their little annoying shenanigans here, and I'm just going to sit here and look absolutely foolish the whole time. Okay, it's fine, though. It's fine. Let our opponent swing. Going on a 6. Ugh. Dan Splenet over on YouTube today. Good morning, my fire friend. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Yeah, you usually don't join us on YouTube side, but thanks again. Hopefully you don't mind me getting completely flooded here. Come on, deck. Again, where is our card draw? No. I'm not getting my card draw. Okay. I would like to see if we can get stuff going here, but we're just not doing it here. All right. All right. Well. Wait, hold on. I messed up there completely. You know what? It's fine. I don't think we were going to win this one anyway, so I'm just going to shame scoop. Yeah, I'm going to just do that, so it's okay. It's okay. We weren't winning that one. We were just getting completely outvalued there. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, you definitely seen the image. Yes, I did see your image there, Denslinet, where you sent the hand that was literally like nothing but lands. Oh, that's painful. I do know how that feels, though, because that feels absolutely disgusting. Well, hopefully, again, you rebounded on another match. Speaking of rebound, let's go ahead. Let's try this one more time. I know this deck is capable of doing some really gnarly stuff, but for some reason, as always, try to give a spin on something and end up looking absolutely foolish. All right, let's get this going. Bring it on, opponents. Let's get ourselves jazzed up here. Yeah. All right. So, no creatures in hand, but we do have ways of making tokens with this hand, so I think this could be good. We're going to keep this. Okay, so, all right, bring it back here. Meticulous Archive. Surveil land. All right, and then we have another Storm Chaser's Talent, too, which is cute. All right, Talent coming down. Make it our first little otter. That was my best interpretation of that. Okay, opponent, what do you got? Blue and white. Anything? Nothing, okay. Okay, so I think... Swift Spear. We're going to see if we can try to get a good hit here. All right, and then Storm Chaser's Talent number 2. The power of prowess kicking in. Unless our opponent has a counterspell. Maybe. Get the pump. Okay. We'll make another otter. We swing. Spring-loaded saw. Wow. People actually play that one? I mean, I played that for one of my budget decks, but I didn't think actually people main deck spring-loaded saw blades. Okay. You learn something new every day. Okay, Slick Shot Show Off, so we'll put that away for now. Get some easy damage in, down to 16. Okay, what else is our opponent playing? Are they playing an artifact deck then? I'm guessing it's Azorius artifacts, especially if they're playing Elspeth, so. Alright, so. Here's how we do. I mean, there's two ways we can do this. I probably would feel better if I had a little bit more lands to work with here, so. We're actually not going to pump up everything just yet. Okay, opponent, what else you got? Anything. Down to 14. Pass. Okay. So in this case, we might have to hold on to the don't make a sounds. 3 steps ahead. Okay. Do their card draw shenanigans. That's fine. Okay. Opponent, what else you got? Nothing yet. Oh, we definitely could use another land, though. Come on deck. Nice. Okay, we got our land. So, how do we want to do this? You could put in Slickshot Show Off, and then it gets the pump from Corey Steelcutter, or you could put in Corey Steelcutter first. Slickshot comes in for free, then pumps up the Corey Steelcutter. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to have to wait out our opponent here. I know we can have an explosive point of damage here, but I'm anticipating our opponent is also going to try to stop us. So we'll just keep kind of poking at them here and there. We'll see if that's going to be enough to kind of force them to play stuff. Anything, opponents? Nothing? Okay. Okay, so we got another land. That's good. So, here's how we'll do this. I need to force them. Just a little bit. And then with that... Okay, actually we'll just swing. Opponent? Still nothing. Down to 9. 3 turns away. Get lost, alright? Don't make a sound. This will, of course, make them either pay or they have another counterspell. It's one or the other. No more lies. Alright, don't make a sound again. Ugh, all that precious pump gone. But we have to do it just to keep those counterspells off. Okay, 2 counterspells down. Or I say 2 removal spells down. Okay. United Battlefront. Ugh. Okay, so they got the Simulacrum down. Okay. Is this going to be enough to stop us? Okay, I don't think they got it there, so... Here we go. And our opponent didn't even want to see the whole wrath that we had for them. Alright. There we go. Yeah. Alright. Much better. There we go. Deck didn't get to show its big splashy hit right there, but you got the idea. Our opponent there knew that they were done. Alright. First win of the day. Never to always do your dailies, kids. 4 wins a day is all you need to get at least 1,000 gold. Speaking of which, hopefully you guys are all saving up your gold. Because I already know that I'm going to spend an insane amount to get all the Final Fantasy cards that we were going to need to play with within a month. So yeah, if you haven't already, if you don't need to get any more wild card stuff or whatever, just kind of hold on to what you got. Alright. Yeah, thank you for the GGs. Okay, so our opponent is playing, I guess, their Demir version. Let's see. We don't, unfortunately, have... We don't have blue mana, so a little awkward, but that's okay. Oh, okay, so it is... Okay, so it's still bounce. Alright, so this time we really could actually use those into the Flood Moss to do stuff. We'll see if we can. Slickshot Show Off again. So with that... Show Off 1 gets plotted. Alright. Opponent, what do you got? Show me what you got. Okay, another swamp. More bounce shenanigans. They swinging. Opponents? Anything? Anything else? Out of 14, okay. Storm Chaser's talents. Okay, well, at least we didn't have to worry about that much pump, so, okay. Slick shot. Okay, we're getting a lot of slick shots here, which is not ideal, but I think we might have to do... Alright. Quarry Steel Cutter, turning on. Opponents? Alright. Gotta get our swings in. Do they have more removal? They probably have the other enchantment. Don't they? Yep, nowhere to run. Alright. Boo. Okay. Not to be expected, unfortunately. We do need blue mana, so this is kind of where not having some dual lands kind of hurts the deck a little bit, but again, it comes down to the fact that if we have tapped duels, sometimes we have issues where it doesn't help us. Okay, our opponent is going off here, and I think this might be it for us. Yeah, down to 3. We didn't get our blue mana in time, so even with Quarry Steel Cutter, Prowess, Monastery Swift Spear, I mean, we could do all this, but it's still not enough. We'll just get our free swing in here, but we still lose. Yep. Standard right now is definitely a very aggro. It's definitely a very aggro 4-bat right now. There is a little bit of grindiness with things such as the Pixie Bounce deck, but most decks can just smash their way through very quickly. But it's okay. At the very least, you can still have, at least for today, you can definitely see that you can play a powerful deck with just 12 rares, which kind of is a testament to how much more stronger we've really gotten with all of our commons and uncommons. It's kind of nice, at least for budget means, but I can definitely understand some people also don't like the fact that these cards are stupid expensive. Dan Splendid, you're doing more brawl decks? Okay. What brawl deck are you building right now? What you got brewing up there? Let me know. And then Sneaky Toilet, I don't think it will ever change. Power Creep will keep giving decks faster and faster ways to win. I mean, you're not wrong. There's definitely a lot of stuff out there right now that feels just like it's just way too much. At some point, I will try to put together for a future stream another budget deck, but I mean, it's not going to be... How do I put this? It's not going to be budget, but kind of budget if you think about it from an old perspective. Does that make sense? I don't know. Like, we'll try out an old deck from the days before Modern Horizons, see if that actually might still do stuff in another format or so. All right, opponents, what are you going to get? Deep Cavern Bat. What will they take from us? They take from us our Into the Floodmaw. Okay. So with that, let us Sleight of Hand. Okay. So we'll get the island. That's good. Play the island. Opt. Turns on the Steel Cutter. Oh, there we go. Much better. Okay. Steel Cutter number 2. Get her free swing in. Down to 18. All right, opponents. Bring it on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Dense Planet. Very tempted to do Atroxa the Grand Unifier. Sounds very good even on budget. She does. I actually do have an Atroxa deck. I remember I played a while ago. I've been really trying to make her work on budget, the uncommon Planeswalkers. I've tried it a couple times. It kind of fizzled, but I really want to try her again for just for fun. I know some people don't like the card, but I do myself enjoy it. Okay, come on, deck. All we just need right now is just a regular spell. Our opponent right here is going to just throw away stuff, which is not what I want to see.
We all have things we'd rather.
Okay, island go bye-bye. Harsh Fiend. No, no, no. Sorry, opponents. That's got to go bye-bye. Okay, so we are okay for a little bit longer. We just need at least one draw spell. Okay. Not quite what I wanted to see, though, but... Put it down. Equip. A little awkward, but it does work. Liliana's down. Okay. So, I guess that'll do for now. Our opponent most likely is going to have some kind of removal for it, though. Alright. Shieldred's Edict. Joy. Alright. But I think that should be it for them. So, still buying our time. Okay, so that helps us out a little bit. How do we do this, though? I think we're going to have to pass here. If they bounce anything and we can counterspell, maybe we can then get our Corey Steel Colors online. Duress? Okay. I guess we do this now, then. So I think we know how to do this here. Okay. Okay. They paid. Kawe from YouTube there subscribed. Did I say that correctly? I apologize if I say that incorrectly, but thank you again for the subscription. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, so then they paid, but we could still bounce away their Deep Cavern Bats. So this does trigger our Corey Steel Cutters. So we now finally got some creatures going. There we go. Much better. This does mean, of course, that we will lose the other Into the Flood Maw, but that's a small price to pay. We just wanted to get our creatures going, so that's good. Down to 17. Okay. We're not down yet. Alright, opponent, what else you got? You gonna throw down that bat one more time? Unholy Annex. Okay, well, that works out for us. You should have put down the bat, opponents. Thank you. Alright, that's out of the way, too. Alright, we're in this fight still. Down to 13. Some way, somehow, if we can get at least one stock up, that'll definitely bring us back. Unstoppable Slasher. Not quite what I wanted to see. Deep Cavern Bat, okay. Got him, opponent. Yeah, okay. Oh, nice. That's what we wanted. Okay, so with that, Island. Stock up. Come on, big hit right now. Give me a hit. Okay. We got... Wow, we really didn't really get too big of a hit here, but I'll take those. Better than nothing. Alright, here we go. Now we're making our token army. We're just going to swing here. We got to keep aggro, put pressure on our opponent there. Down to 4. Okay. Looking good. Slasher will hurt us a ton. Oh, dang it. They actually have the piece there. Never mind. Well, we kind of put ourselves in a bad spot there. Got a little too frisky, but oh well. Dang. Not quite our morning, but okay. It is what it is. Then Splendid Atrox is going to be like, bring all the good cards and pray. I mean, that's kind of how you want to play her. You just put her down and just start proliferating and hoping for the best. Hopefully it works out for you. Hopefully it works for the best for you, too. Alright, let's try this again.
It's time to
Yeah. Alright, so with that, let's see here. Okay, so we can do some stuff for a bit, but I would like us to at least have a blue source. That's okay. We can get there with this. We have some early game removal. Okay, mono black, bandit's talent. Okay. Annoying, but it's gonna be fine, everybody. We'll find a way around this. I think for now, might have to throw away the burst lightning. We'll toss that into the flood maw. Lot away this show off for now. That'll come in handy a little bit later on. Okay, opponents. Liliana the Veil. So I feel like today it's going to be a day of, it's going to be mono black, pixie, and whatever aggro pile opponents are going to throw at us. Until then, throw away into the flood maw. Okay, come on, deck. You can give me any land right now would be nice. Okay. Burst lightning. Pump. We swing and take out Liliana. Okay. She's down, but we're also still vulnerable right now. Oh, the Grand Unifier one. Oh, okay, guy. Sorry. Misread you on that one. But yeah, that one's, I mean, you really can't go wrong with that one. There's just so many different ways you can kind of just do things and just have her just refuel your hand with whatever. Okay. So there goes all of that. But at least now we got an island, so, okay. So we're not completely hosed. Okay. Take the Monastery Swiss Spear and swing with it. Opponent's almost out of cards, too. Maybe we can just outrun him here. Okay. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. We have only 1. Is that enough? Okay. Liliana number 2. Coming on.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not my fault.
Of course, they make us lose. Joy. Alright.
I've always hated.
Come on, deck. I need to get back into this fight. Okay. Neither card really helps us right now because we don't have the lands, but that's okay. I realize this is the first time I think we've played a deck that's just completely just basics in a multicolored deck. Maybe it probably would have been better to at least have one set of tapped duels. But every time I've made a deck with, like, tapped duels, it always comes to us at the worst possible
I'm tired
time.
of your secrets.
Okay, opponent's got up to level 2. The drain now begins. Okay. So we'll pass. So the way we can do this at least is... That'll be on the stack. Level 3. They start drawing cards extra now. They take up. Alright. Deep Counterback goes bye-bye. And we opt. Okay. Not quite gonna help us now. I mean, anyway, we'll lose whatever. So.
You won't be outsmarting
Come on.
me.
Okay. Jeez. Alright, well, now the value once again happens with us. Opponent, what else you got? Last card in hand. Anything. Or do they sacrifice the Hopeless Nightmare? Dang, we're just not doing it right now. We keep running out of gas no matter what we're playing. Just not helping at all.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Kind of a shame, too. The deck can definitely do stuff. It's just for some reason this time around we're just not doing it. Alright. I guess while our opponent is doing their thing here, question for everybody out there is, what color do you all want to... I guess I'll put this on a poll too. What color should we focus on for when Final Fantasy comes out? We still got a ways to go, but I definitely want to start kind of coming up with ideas of what we can definitely start brewing into. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but again, I just don't have enough... I don't have enough resources right now. I'm going to try to build up what I can, but I'm super jazzed to see what we can put together with it. Okay.
Drop it.
Down to 8. Storm Chaser's talents. I mean, that's not the worst. We can make that otter. Okay, level 2. We can sleight of hand. Pump up the otter. Oh, come on, deck. Another mountain doesn't help us. And we'll pass there. Well, at least we avoid getting hit for damage for a little bit longer. Just for a bit. Sneaky Toilet. Any cards catch your eye that's been leaked? Oh, from the Final Fantasy? I mean, the first one I'm probably going to do is... We're definitely going to play with the Sephiroth card. Sephiroth card looks absolutely bonkers from what I saw. So, hopefully that'll be something that we can actually play with. I definitely look forward to that one. Okay, we don't want her to ultimate, so I'm going to just hit her for 1 there, and then swing here at face.
You know.
Okay, so at the very least now Liliana cannot ultimate for a turn. But, oh wait. Never mind, we're dead. We're dead, aren't we? There's not much else that we can really do. Yep. Joy. Down to 2. Discard.
Drop it.
Alright, Hopeless Nightmare. I mean, I can pump up to level 3 Storm Chaser's Talent, but without any fuel, it does nothing. So, we lose again. Wow. Some way, somehow, we can make any good deck look absolutely terrible. I think that has to be a talent for somebody out there. All right. Let's play this best of 3 for a little bit. Like, maybe 1 or 2 matches, and then we'll kind of jump to the real version of the deck. All right, so with that, standard, and then best of 3. Okay. Let's see if we can actually pull off something here. But honestly, I'm really looking forward to the Saga creatures. Probably the coolest enchantment type so far. Yeah, we can definitely put together some really fun shenanigans with the Saga and, creatures. That actually makes us... I kind of want to now reevaluate one of the Saga decks we played a while ago. I think that'll actually be a lot of fun to do. Sneaky Toilet, please give me a rundown of that card. Don't know what any of the Final Fantasy cards do. Okay, so the Sephiroth card is kind of like a... It's like a cracked out version of Blood Artist. Anytime we get creatures that die, it'll just do its usual, life gain and drain. Ping opponent for 1, and you gain 1 life. If 4 creatures die in a single turn, Sephiroth flips into a more powerful version, where, however, it also gets an emblem, where every time a creature dies, you can still drain, but because it's an emblem, that's what makes it bonkers. Because once the emblem's out, you can't get rid of it. So I'm looking forward to doing some very gnarly sacrifice shenanigans with it. The big question is, do we want to build that for a 60 card or a 100 card deck? That's the only question I'm trying to figure out right now. So I'm trying to figure that out and think like, what's the best way to build Sephiroth? So I'll put that to a vote. I'll pull up the card and I'll put it on a poll maybe later today about... That'll be our first deck. Or maybe even our first live stream, too. And then ask all y'all, what do you want to see? Do you want to see 60 card, or do you want to see 100 card? Spinewood Armadillo. Ooh, okay. Opponent is throwing away their Armadillo there. They gain 3 life, but that's okay. Okay, opponents. Bring it on. Ooh, Jun colors? Huh. I don't know what our opponent's playing, but we'll see. Swing it away. Nothing, opponents? Down to 15. Don't want to get too greedy just yet. Maybe 1 more land? Because I still need to keep open... Oh, okay. Another Armadillo. Okay. Opponent is getting their lands. Okay. Thankfully, though, we do have the counterspell, so I'm ready to go if our opponent starts doing some shenanigans here. Alright, so... Well, maybe this is the turn to do it. Alright, well, we came here to do some prowess shenanigans, so you know what? I'm feeling frisky. Let's do this. Opponents. Heavy damage. 16. Anything else, opponents? Okay, it's so tempting right now. Wait, hold on. That's right now 9, 10, 11, 12. If I cast this, 13, 14. Oh, we're 1 point short. Down to 4. Tempting. But I need to keep that mana open because I have no idea what our opponent's doing. I'm a little concerned here. Oh, that's why. Okay, there we go. Sorry, opponents. Victory. And there you go, everybody. Yes. Game 1. Al Ani over on Twitch. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Happy Tuesday. Yes, it is a happy Tuesday. Right now, we're in the middle of us seeing if we can play literally on the tightest budget I can, the best deck in Standard. So, Izzet prowess, but it's all basics. So that's kind of the twist for us. So, thanks again for joining us this morning. All right, so we took game 1, which is great. I guess our opponent is playing some kind of Jund Dragon shenanigans. How do we get around that, though? So, from what I saw, we didn't really get a chance to see much of what their deck is doing, so I'm a little concerned that we're probably going to misplay right now on the sideboarding here, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to change anything actually right now, because I have no idea if we need to put in creature removal, or maybe we should just bring in more Spell Pierce for more counter spells and Flood Moss. I don't know. Let's just keep it as is, and we'll just see if we can just work with this. If we need to make adjustments, if we have to go to game 3, so be it. Annie, it's been pretty good. Hopefully you're having a nice day as well. I am. Thanks again for joining us. I really do appreciate that. Just right now, just trying to play with a deck that hopefully will be something that we can I can enjoy ranking up with, even if it's only just basics. Deadly Encounters over on YouTube. This deck is boring. It takes no skill to play. What? Well, I mean, it's not like it's like that brain dead. You're talking to a guy who loves playing, by the way, mono red and burn decks. And I'll tell you right now, again, I still believe those are the most Chad of deck archetypes. Yes, I know people will just be like, Infernoman, all you just do is just swing until you die or you win. But again, there's still a little bit of nuance to it. It's not like it's that... It's not like it's that simple. Yes, there are going to be some matches like this where you have awkwardness, but you can still get through with some things. Okay, another island. Okay, let's see how we do this here. Another mountain. All right. But again, I'm not going to lie. Like, I play a variety of decks, and there's going to be some decks that I know those of you who've watched me for a while, you're going to find some stuff that maybe is not your style. But hey, it happens. I try to do my best to still play a variety. So if this deck today is not your thing, then, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you except maybe the next live stream will have something that you may enjoy. It's all good, though. I ain't going to hate. You do enjoy what you want to enjoy. All right, and then into the Flood Maw. We will take the 3 damage. Okay, bounce that away. Bounce it away. Opponents. Oh, Trumpeting Carnosaur? Okay. Sorry, opponents. Not enough damage. Whew. Token survives. And they lose their dinosaur out of that one, so that's fine. And it's a pleasure for me. Negates. Ah, good to hear that. Have you ever tried any spooky games yet? I mean horror ones. Good question. I mean, I don't really play any horror games because usually I'm just a Magic card player. But there was a point where I did play a couple of retro games and kind of try to play some other stuff just to kind of, give myself a little more variety. Having said that, I mean, I might do some in the future for my Patreon because there's definitely a lot of games that I've been wanting to play again, but I don't have the time to do. This little fireball also does have a full-time job outside of streaming, so until I can get to enough support, that's mostly where I kind of feel where I'm at. All right. Quarry Steel Cutter number 2. And then from here, how do I want to do this here? I could... This is going to be a little awkward, but we're going to try it this way. Big swing with just a single one. I mean, if I had to pick a horror game, like, I'm meaning to go back to Resident Evil and kind of play the retro ones for a little bit again. Just to remember what it was like to play those games. God, it's been so long since I played those. I do miss playing some other games, though, but at some point, what I'm planning on doing in the future, now that I just brought it up, is I do plan on doing some pseudo-retro stuff for the Patreon subscribers. So for those people out there that are interested in seeing me play other stuff and seeing how things go, let me know in the comments, whether it's here, on our Discord, wherever you're at, so that way I can kind of see and kind of get a gauge for what you all want to see in the future. I played Resident Evil Village and ended it too, but it made me scared so many times, the jump scares in it. Makes sense. Yeah, I actually never played the 7 and 8. I've seen my friends play it, and they look fun, but I don't know, I can understand the intense feeling of playing a first-person kind of horror survival game. But at some point, I do have Resident Evil Remake on my, loaded up. I've just been meaning to kind of, get back into that. But yeah, good questions on that one. I do miss playing some other games, though. I do need to make more time for that in the future. Maybe when I don't want to, maybe when I want to take a small break from playing Magic. We'll come to that again in the future. In the meantime, however... Oh, wow. I got to play my turn. Okay. We're going to swing here and see what our opponent does. Opponent, what are you going to do? Anything? They have a very interesting deck. Okay, nothing. Huh. Okay, 13. Opponent, 3 cards in hand. We can still bounce away and destroy their stuff if we need to. It's not ideal, but we can. Alright, prowess. Bounce away. And we'll just take the 6. Al Annie. No doubt the game was amazing and realistic too. Yes, Resident Evil. I heard the Biohazard is more scary than Village. Oh, like the Japanese ones? Oh, you want to play that one too? Oh yeah, I heard good things about it remakes as well. Resident Evil 4 on GameCube, because that shows you how old I am. I'm a pretty old little fireball, by the way. I played the original Resident Evil 4 on my GameCube, and that was, again, my all-time favorite game. So the question I've been asking myself is, if I was to do it again, should I do the remake? Or should I try to boot up the old version, maybe like on my Switch, and maybe play that? Or I don't know. Not sure. Thinking about it still. Still thinking. Okay. I don't know if we're going to survive this one, everybody, because it looks like I've kind of figured out what our opponent's trying to do, more or less. So we'll see here. All right, so Burst Lightning to face. Get the pump going. I know we're going to lose this one, but I want to see what else our opponent has, if they have anything else. Okay, Trumpeting Carnosaur again. Pump up again with Monstrous Rage. Decline. Down to 14. We swing. Take out a Flesh Gorger, but that's not enough. They get the free damage here, so we'll just concede now and go to game 2. All right, game 2 of this match, everybody. Now that we know they have creatures. Okay, so for this, I guess the Abrades are going to have to come in. That's probably what we need. And, even the Burst Lightnings don't feel like they do much to help us, so instead we'll cut those, and then we'll bring in the other into the Flood Maws. I think that might be the best option for us. Or maybe that one Witch Stalker Frenzy might help us too, but it's just 5 damage. I don't know if that's enough. Or maybe the Torch the Tower. The Torch the Tower can take out those Flesh Gorgers. Okay, we'll bring in those. We'll try that out. Let's try. Let's give it a try. Dense Planet. Definitely an RPG, first-person shooter, and now card games myself. Yeah, so I guess I'll put it to a vote eventually. I know I tried to show the Patreon a little bit here, and I try to mention to everybody, like, even if you aren't on the paid level of the Patreon, I still put out some free stuff for all y'all out there. So at some point, for those of you out there, and maybe I'll make it also for exclusive members of my YouTube channel, maybe we could do a couple of bonus streams where I can just do, different games, stuff that I've been wanting to play with, and just kind of, just use that as a fun time to play and just chat with all y'all. Let me know if y'all are interested in that in the future. I will try to make time. It's just right now, my schedule is just so tight on everything. I'm going to try to make it work, though. At some point, I will try. Okay, until then, all right, let's keep this hand. We can, let's see here. I think we'll put away the Opt, because I want to make sure we have tempo stuff against our opponent. Okay, Mountain. Okay, opponents. We're ready for you this time. Any of them want... Just drop you a follow on Instagram. I can understand the busy schedule. Yeah, I consider myself kind of like I guess I would say like a part-time content creator. Because I make like 2 streams a week right now. 1 YouTube video is all I can muster while squeezing in when I can some shorts throughout the week. So I guess that means it's not, 5 videos out of a 7-day week? Yeah, feels like full-time, but only getting paid like part-time for just subscribes, ads, and all that stuff. But any and all support that all of y'all have, I do appreciate. All right, Corey Steelcutter, coming down. Slickshot Show Off, also coming down. We make our token. All right, opponent. First Blood. What do you got? Show me what you got. Anything? Okay. Annoying. Okay. We lose our creature, but that's okay. Their Omen puts that creature back, so we can do our thing. Okay, so an Opt is good here. Prowess. Take a Monstrous Rage. Nice. All right, and then pump up our token here. We create a new token. There we go. Massive damage. Down to 9. Okay. Opponents. Can you stop us? Do they have anything? If they have a Wrath, that probably might hurt us here, but we'll see what they have. Annie. Any of them would be cool. You choose. Let's see. Yeah, just at least they're trying. And I know it'll be better on time to time. Yeah. We'll still somehow try to make it all work. That's just how I I operate. I try to at least maintain at least the consistency of just doing... Oh, hold on one second. Our opponent here is trying to get rid of our 1 token. Okay, phew. We did manage to keep it alive just long enough. All right, Slick Shot Show Off. And then from here, this is going to seem weird for a second here, but this will work. So watch this. Okay, so the triggers do go off. We attach. We hurt our token, but that's okay because there you go. We could do the damage here. Down to 1. Okay, opponent, you need a Wrath to stop us. 1 Wrath. If they can do that, they beat us, but otherwise we will win here. I don't think they have it, though. You get what I mean. Yes. So, with that... Okay, this is game, everybody. There you go. Victory for us. We took the match, everybody. Yeah. All right. All right. Nice. Okay. Well, you kind of get the idea, everybody. So, you know what? Let's just kick this up to the next level. Let's show you exactly what the real deal of this deck is. So the budget one, don't worry. Again, one more time, if you're interested, I'll be more than happy, of course, to leave the link for this and the details of this live stream across any of the socials that I have, whether you're watching here on X, Instagram, YouTube, or, of course, Twitch. All of them will get the links, or at least the deck list themselves. So you can play this for yourself later on. But what if we chose to now play the real deal? So the upgraded version of this deck, not really much you change in the main deck. You pretty much are going to keep everything. Most people will still argue that Spell Pierce is better here, but I'm going to keep this for now because it has been helpful. But for the upgrades for our deck now we're actually going to invest in the dual lands. So now you can really get a much more consistency with the deck. So Riptire Verge, Shivan Reef, and Spire Bluff Canal. That's literally going to be the dual lands we can afford. As far as upgrades to the sideboard, I mean, this one's where it's going to be a little bit more ambiguous depending on, again, the meta. So adjust as necessary. But currently right now, we'll keep Into the Flood Maws. We're going to add an entire set of Spell Pierce. We'll keep the single Witchstalker Frenzy. Keep the Torch to the Towers, but we'll trim it down to 2. We're going to add in now a much more stronger version of Graveyard Hate and Ghost Vacuum here. So you can exile a target card from a graveyard. If you pay the 6 later on in the late game, you can bring all that stuff back as 1/1 spirits. So this is going to be a nice little way to kind of get us more value if the game does drag. Extra Braids here and some Pyroclasms, of course, to round us out. So this is going to be the upgraded version of what we played now. And we'll play this now for the remainder of these streams. So that's how we're going to do this now. All right, and then standard ranked, of course. We'll jump to best of 3 a little bit later on. So now we're going to play the upgraded version. And as we're loading it up right now, again, for those of you who have been joining us, whether, again, you're a longtime viewer or maybe you're brand new to the channel, if you do like any of the content that I do, please, as always, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content. You can support me, of course, monthly on Patreon for only $3 a month, but also you can join for free. I'll still throw up there, again, some bonus stuff. All the bonus footage that I do, whether it is going to be Magic stuff or maybe even other games, we'll start throwing that up there for those of you who do want to check out a little bit more about what I do. I am going to try to do some more fun skit stuff with some more IRL content, so that's coming soon. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to record that when I have time, but it is coming. However, if you just want to at least play part of our community, we also have a Discord where you can then just chat with us about Magic or anything else, because we also have off-topic stuff you can do. But either way, any and all support you can provide for me, I appreciate. So thank you one more time, everybody. All right. Phew. Okay. I will stop shilling for a second there, and we'll now get back into the game. All right. Yes, we are going to bring out the big guns now.
It's time to do.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to get actually serious with our deck today. Let me get a coffee real quick, by the way. I'm a bit sleepy at the moment. Oh, okay. I mean, do what you need to do to perk yourself up. We'll be here for a little bit longer. No big deal. All right. Swift Spear. First Blood. All right, opponent, what do you got? Show me what you got. All right, with that, Sneaky Toilet. So the difference between the budget and this is just dual lands? Honestly, yes. Realistically, the Izzet deck works pretty well. Our build does great already as is. Literally the core of the deck that you just cannot cut is going to be, of course, the show-offs, the talents, and of course the Corey Steel Cutter. But if you add in, of course, dual lands, literally all you're just getting is much better consistency with the deck. So yeah. I mean, that's literally all that it takes to make this deck better, is just better lands. But I mean, that's something I've always told everybody, is just upgrade your mana base. Before you upgrade the main deck of any deck you have, get a better mana base. no matter what, I cannot stress this enough. Getting a better mana base means you're going to have more consistency with your deck, even if you have jank cards. And I've shown across so many decks over the past, 4 years I've been doing this? Yeah, 4 years. Anytime you can do a better mana base, you'll have a much better feeling for how your deck will go. All right. Slick Shot Show Off. Hard casting that. And this time around, Monstrous Rage. Alright. Big swing here. Now we get the real deal for the deck, everybody. Now you get a real feel for what we're trying to do here. So, that's right, opponent. Take that damage. Take it. Swamp. I guess the only time you really don't need to worry about a stronger mana base is if you're playing a monocolor deck, but even then, there's still some utility lands that you could put into any deck. Just as an FYI. Deep Cavern Vat again. Unfortunately, they take away the one card we do want to keep, but it's okay. We can still push through damage no matter what, everybody. They only have one swamp open. They go back up to 8. Ooh, Storm Chaser's talent. Okay. Well, this is good, too. Pump, pump, pump. Opponent. Do you have an answer for all this? Okay. What you gonna block, opponents? Okay, Swiftspear, that's fair. Down to 1. Alright. We will get back our stock up. If our opponent does not have anything here, we can win right here on next turn. Unstoppable Slasher. Oh, that doesn't do it. You can chump block with that, but that's game for us. Alright. Pump, pump, pump. Prowess, everybody. The power of it is here to stay. You know what? We'll get the Storm Chaser. Oh, and opponents. I wanted to get that right there and kind of feel good, but okay. They just knew. They were going to win. Better. Much better, everybody. Wow. The power of a good mana base, as you see there, really does make a difference. All right. That's our 4th win for today. With the upgraded deck now. But all right. All right. I'm feeling good. Okay, so while we're loading up here, give me a second here. I'm also going to drink a little bit of water. Yes, I know. A fireball drinking water. Don't worry. It's like hot water, so that kind of works for me. Okay. Nice and warm there. Okay. Feel good, feel good. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, still solid hand, but yeah. Literally the difference between having dual lands and non-dual lands does show here in a deck like this. So, but there are still going to be some awkward moments even with these dual lands. Because, for example, the Verge here can't get us the blue until we get a mountain down. Okay, Deep Cavern Bats. Okay, what are they going to take? If they don't take the Burst Lightning, we just literally just Burst Lightning them right here. But I'm pretty sure they're going to see right now they're in a bad spot. I mean, no matter what we do. Okay. I mean, that's fine. We're just going to Burst Lightning right now. So, that goes bye-bye. Alright, and with that, we'll put down Quarry Steel Cutter now. If they're playing mono black, they don't have artifact removal, so that actually works in our favor. Oh yes, they're in a bad spot. I need to see if I can get my soundboard working again, because last time I tried to get it to work, it ended up freezing the streaming software. So that's kind of why I haven't been using that for a while. But I'll see if I can try to add in maybe to my other hotkeys here, maybe some more of those fun sound effects, because I kind of miss playing with those. Shivan Reef. Okay, so here's how we do this. Slick Shot Show Off, coming in. Storm Chaser's talent, coming in. Nice. All right. Big swing here. Down to 13 opponents. We're going to be vulnerable for a turn here, but that's fine. Unless if our opponent plays a demon, I think we'll be okay for a little bit. Cut down. Wait, on the token? You didn't want to put it on the Slick Shot show? Oh, never mind. They already have the removal. Okay, it's fine. All right. They still lose 2 life, though, so this is fine for us. So here's how we do this, then. We will Burst Lightning their face. Want to get that pump going. And we'll just go from there. It's tempting right now
to then get that Corey Steel Cutter to go off, but I need to keep the mana open for a counter spell here. That's why. In case somebody's wondering, like, wait, what's the game plan? Opponents? 5 cards in hand. What you got? Sheoldred's Edict. Okay. So with that, don't make a sound. Do the counter now. Oh, they have nowhere to run too. Okay. Annoying. Boo. That's okay though. They're still getting drained. Okay, so Slick Shot Show Off here. Okay, so I think this does it here. Show Off. We bounce away, and you know what? Sure, opponent. Let's give you a tapped fish. There we go. We can bounce away their stuff, and it doesn't matter because at this point we get the victory here. Victory once again. Yeah! The power of prowess, everybody. All right, making a comeback here. Definitely now that the deck has the rare lands, it's a much more powerful build. Okay, win number 5 for today. All right, so how y'all feeling? I know this is not like a innovative deck. I know this is definitely the top tier deck right now, but what are your thoughts on it? Do you like the deck? Do you hate this deck? Let me know in your thoughts below, everybody. And yeah, and again, soon I need to look at some of the more cards. I'll put up a couple of, I'll need to start talking again about some of the Final Fantasy stuff that's coming soon. That also gives me another idea too. Maybe, because I've never actually played any of the main deck, or the main Final Fantasies. Would anybody be interested in me, I don't know, firing up one of the old ones and maybe just playing that for the first time? Because I have no idea how they really play. I know of the characters from friends, but I was never really a Final Fantasy player. Should I educate myself on trying to learn the games? Or maybe just play for a little bit? I don't know. Let me know. But the only thing I really want to do right now is, okay, opponent, you there? Oh, okay, they're there. Okay, so show off, stock up. Okay, so we can definitely get some tempo going. We can dig out stuff, which is good. Ooh, Corey Seal Cutter, that's good too. All right, so see what our opponent's got here. Nothing yet. Okay. Verge land. We will plot away. So we'll cast that a little bit later on. A surprise tool for later, by the way. Okay, island again. We will... Okay, so I think we'll do it this way. Steel Cutter. Coming down. Show Off. Coming down. There we go. Oh. Opponent, you have an answer. Get lost. That's annoying. Okay, that's fine. We'll still opt. Just to see what we get here. Okay, Swift here, that's good. We'll take that. That'll be helpful for next turn. 17. First Blood. I really need to put out a soundboard together for some of this stuff, so I'll have to do that in the future. Another one of my things to write down. Okay, opponent. Lay down arms. Boo. Okay, so we're back up to 23. So in the meantime, Monastery Swiss Spear. And then I guess we'll stock up for now. This might be the turn to do it. So we can now dig deep to find some other stuff we're going to need. Okay, so there we go. We'll take the Shivan Reef, and I guess we'll take Swiss Spear. Swing here for 4. Down to 13. Come on, opponents. I know you have a Wrath in hand. They have to have a Wrath. Legion Architect. Okay. I don't know what our opponent's playing, but okay. I guess I'm just going to roll with it. So, Show Off. And I guess... I guess into the Flood Maw? Bounce that away. That slows them down. So whatever they're trying to do, we're going to slow them down right here now. Take the fish, opponents. Oh. Okay. Prowess, prowess. Bounce that away. They get a fish, which is kind of cute. Okay. Wait, hold on one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, I think we have lethal here. Hold on. Oh, wait. I messed this up. I realized I should have played the Burst Lightning, so oops. Well, all right. I misplayed that one. I misplayed that one badly. Well, let's see if this costs me the match. Down to 2. If this costs me, then you all can yell at me later in the comments. Remember Faithful Absence? Oh, Day of Judgment. Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. Our own mess up there did not hurt us. Okay, Corey Steelcutter. Burst Lightning to the face. We don't even need to make the tokens. We'll make them anyway, just in case. And there you go. Whew, I really thought there for a second we made a mistake, but okay. Still, gotta be careful next time, though, because that next time could cost us a match, so I need to read my cards better. All right, victory there. All right, another victory here. Just gonna keep the good times rolling. Keeping it going. All right, loading up here. Next match. We're ready to go. All right.
It's time to duel!
Woo! Okay, so what do we got this time? Okay, no creature in hand. We have a lot of tempo stuff and removal. We have a counterspell also. I know this is going to seem a little awkward, but I feel like I should hold on to this one for just a smidge. We'll see. Okay, so with that, let's play the Shivan Reef, and we'll go from there. Okay. Opponents. Verge Land, okay. Okay, let's see. Opponent, nothing. Okay, nothing yet. So in the meantime, I guess we're just going to have to wait it out for a bit here. Okay, opponent's playing their Corey Steelcutter first, so don't make a sound. We got to keep theirs off the field. If we could do that, then we could still do our thing. Okay, sleight of hand. Opponent's digging. Digging away. Okay, Monstrous Rage. Still not quite what we want. Okay. All right, we'll need the mountain for sure. Okay, and then we'll pass here. Okay, so at the very least now we can stock up next turn and hopefully we can find an answer. Wow, okay, so this is definitely going to be the mirror match. First off here. Okay, opponents. Anything else? Sleight of hand. Okay, they're going to start pumping here. So Burst Lightning for the first one. Okay, down. Phew. Okay. Okay, sleight of hand. They're going to dig for something. Dig for an answer somewhere. Okay, opponents, what you got? Okay, you got a card. So they still got 4 cards in hand, but we got 5. Is this an... Gotta try to find a way to get around their stuff, too. Okay, nothing? All right. So in the meantime, let's stock up now. I guess this is the turn to do it. Okay, so, oh, okay, we'll get... see here. What do we want? I want that show off, but we can't get that. And another stop. Okay, wow, this is actually a really good hit here, but... Shivan Reef, okay. Want that flexibility. So in the meantime, Storm Chaser's talent. Opponents. Okay, lets us have it. Alright. Do they have removal? Opponent. They're thinking. What are they thinking? Okay, clock is ticking. Opponent does use the Burst Lightning. Okay, so we're down to nothing. This still can go either way. It's anybody's game right now. Anybody's game. Ooh, the intensity right now. Okay, tap land. Stock up. Opponent's also now stocking up. Okay, okay. Also, I need to put out at some point with all y'all another poll. So, yeah, I need to get behind that. I know I'm a little behind on polls, but yeah, poll on what's... If there's anything that you want to see over the next week or so, I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more experimentation with some decks out there. Maybe we'll kind of refresh some of the old stuff we haven't seen for a little while. So let me know what format should we build for our future live stream. This week we kind of already have everything locked in, but next week that'll give me enough time to kind of figure out what you guys want to see. So just FYIs. We'll pass here, by the way. We probably want to keep those counter spells ready to go. Either one of us, our opponent or me, one of us is going to go off here. But I want to see if we can outdo them. Or Steel Cutter again. All right. Don't make a sound. Do you pay the 2 opponents? They do. Okay, so this helps us a little bit here. Actually, these are good hits. Let's keep that as is. And then don't make a sound again. We ping ourselves, but this is a small price to pay for what we can do. We keep those steel cutters off their side of the field. We should be able to then beat them down. Okay. Opponents, what else you got? All right, let them go. Okay, sleight of hand. Okay, last card. They are now tapped out. All right, so from here, Swift Spear. And we will go up to level 2 while we can. We'll bring back the stock up. Swing here. Down to 19. Okay, so we're still... Okay, Glory Steel Cutter. So they managed to get 1 down. And the Storm Chaser's talent. Okay, so our opponent's now going to try to get their value engine going too. But we can still do this. Okay. They take the hit on us. Down to 16. Okay, so... Slick Shot. Fully casted. Alright, we're just going to go for a swing here. Do they block? They have 2 mana open. Oh, it's anybody's game right now. Anything? Okay, so they do block with 1 there. Monstrous Rage. Let's get this going. Opponents, I know you have something in hand. The intensity right now. Alright. We can Burst Lightning away. Alright, 1 more mana. It's literally a spell slinging war right now, everybody. Ooh, into the Flood Maw there. Alright. So in that case then... Look at everything on the stack right now. We're just like... There's like 16 triggers on the stack. Jeez. Things you gotta do to make sure we keep our opponent off balance here. Look at all that. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. But we took the big hit here to them. Down to 12. We're at 15. But it's still close. Ooh. I'm on the edge of my seat right now if you can't tell. Alright, alright. Stock up. Ooh. Not what I wanted to see. Our opponent now can refuel. But we're not down either. We still have both of our cards that can still help us out here. Is this enough, though? Does our opponent have the means to make a comeback? Into the Flood Maw, once again. So they bounce away our Swift Spear. Dang. Okay, they could hit us for 5 here. Ooh, wait, do they have another answer? Opponent, do you have something else? They got an opt. Okay, so they can get a little bit more pump. Ugh. We gotta survive here. I mean, you can at least see here, everybody. This is kind of the reason why, even in the mirror match here, the deck is still capable of grinding. You just gotta kind of have to work with this kind of stuff. So I know some people may argue that like a deck like this is just swing, aggro, aggro. But you can see right here, it could still go either way. There's still some spell slinging 4D chess maneuvers you can pull off. But it really kind of depends on also what we can do here. Okay, so how do we do this here? Go down the mountain. Swift Spear coming back. Stock up. May not be enough to get her now, but okay, so we can at least get here. These two. Swift Spear here. And we pass. Okay. So here, game plan. We just need to slow them down. If we can do that, I think we might be able to get the victory here. If they cast the next spell and Corey Steelcutter goes off, then we can start taking out... Okay, Storm Chaser's talent. So with that, we pump up our Swift Spears. So hopefully we can fizzle them here. They'll make that token. They get another one, but now they can't swing, so that buys us time. They go to level 2. What did they bring back? Ooh. Ooh, this still can go either way. Sneaky Toilet. Hey, my dude, thanks for an earlier stream today. Heading off to the sack. Hope for the rest of your day. Plus, stream goes fantastic. Okay, well, thanks for that. Have a good evening. Take care. And again, we'll hopefully get a chance to see you again soon on stream. Have a good night, and always be sure to burn bright. Later. All right, so in the meantime, do some pumping here. Show off. Make our own token. Oh, jeez. The swing option here is tempting, but we just can't do it yet. Okay. If we can get at least one more way to sling some spells here, I think we can pull it off here. But our opponent, ugh, they just keep getting gas. They have another stock up? Oh, boy. I don't know. Not feeling it now. We might lose this one here. We might not make it. Oh, boy. Burst Lightning. Okay. This might be the end of us here. Now they got enough pump. And we don't have enough ways to block everything here. Ooh. Ooh. Jeez. Okay. We don't have a choice here. Not a very good one. Okay. Do they have another spell? No. They probably do. No, they have the Monster's Rage. Yeah. Dang, we lost that one. We lost the spell slinging battle. Well, can't win them all, everybody. That's a shame. It's fine. That was still a really good one, but that kind of really gives you a better idea of like how the deck is capable of like handling such situations. Lots of spell slinging there, lots of tough decisions to make. It's not always just cast and swing away and hope for the best. Sometimes you're going to have to hold back just a little bit. Okay. In the meantime, let's go ahead, let's jump into a couple more best of ones, and we'll try to wrap it up with maybe 1 or 2 best of 3s, and we'll see how well the deck performs overall. As always, once we get near the very end, we'll then, of course, talk about the deck overall, the good, the bad, the ugly, and kind of your overall thoughts. And then once we're done with that, stick around to the very end, and you kind of get at least a little idea as to what's to come for the future streams that we'll be doing with extra content. All right, so until then, let's go ahead, let's see if we can wrap this up. We're going to be winding down a little bit soon, everybody. It's not the longest stream, but as always, I remind everyone, especially the newer viewers out there, usually our streams are only going to be about... Oh, geez, they hit us with the dress. Boo. Discard a card. But yeah, our streams usually are only going to be small little 2-hour streams, mostly just because, again, I tend to be a bit of a busy little fireball, so I got to take care of other things. But I still appreciate all of you that have been with me today, just for a little part of your day. Get lost. Okay. Opponent here does not want us to have anything on the field. So in the meantime, that away. An 18. Okay, so Slick Shot can come in later on for free, and then we can start hopefully spell slinging off. But we'll see what our opponent's trying to do here. Opponent? Nothing. Okay, Corey Steelcutter, that's good too. But we'll wait for a second because I want them to tap out. Okay. We'll throw away the Flood Maw. I don't know if what our opponent has is going to hurt us, but we'll pump up our Otter for now. Okay, we'll keep the stock up. Anything else, opponents? Anything else? Rides End. Joy. Okay, well. Okay. This at least kind of gives us an idea of where we want to be at for the next turn. Phyrexian Arena. Wow. Okay. Well, at least this kind of gives us an idea of where we should go from here. Steel Cutter. Look at her token. Hit him for 3. Okay, so our opponent has their card draw engine, but they are going to start taking some extra damage from it. So hopefully we can pull off some stuff here. Come on, deck. Just give me a little bit of extra love. Oh, Shieldred. Now I kind of really wish we had that into the Flood Maw now, so that kind of hurts us. But not the worst. Okay, so here's how we do this. Slide a hand. Down to 16. Get the pump going. Okay, Get the Monstrous Rage. Pump up our token. Make a new token. And I guess we'll do bow. All of it. Big swing here. Opponent's going to have to block. They have to block that monk. If they don't, they will lose. Okay, shield her down. Whew. Too close there. Down to 2 opponents. You're not going to survive much longer unless you have another Shieldred. Okay. Anything else? Oh, man. We might get this one. We might be able to get a sneaky win here. All depends on what our opponent tries to do. If we can get at least one more land, I think we'd be perfectly set. Oh, our opponent gave up already. All right. Victory for us. Yeah. Shoulder was not enough for our opponent there. Gotta like those sneaky combat tricks. All right, all right. Okay, so I think from here, let's do one more best of 1, and then from there, we'll then jump to best of 3. I think that sounds pretty good for here. And then we'll just kind of write out best of 3 for the remainder of the stream. So to kind of give everybody a little bit of a timeline heads up right now, we'll be winding down in approximately about 25 minutes or so. So that kind of gives you at least a little bit of a headway as to how much longer we have. But don't worry, we'll still have a little bit more fun here. But overall, while we're loading up our next match, let me know in the comments, everyone, is there a card that you have seen from the Final Fantasy set that makes you go, we have to build around this? I'll put up, of course, again, some options for all of y'all down the line. So let me know, again, what you are interested in seeing in the future. But until then, let's see. Okay, so we got Canal. We'll pass here. All right, opponent, what do you got? Show me what you got. Verge, okay. Go from there. Mountain. Put away the show off. Sneaky toilets. Back over on YouTube. Forgot, I can lie in bed and watch you on YouTube still. Oh, okay. Well, welcome back. Glad to see you for a little bit longer. Alright, so in that case then, we'll play the Verge. We will... Quarry Steel Cutter. Opponent, you have blue mana, so do you have an answer? No more lies. Boo. Alright, well, it looks like our opponent is going to do that instead. Show off. Opt. So we need another answer here. Don't need the island. Okay, another show off won't be too bad. Down to 17. Okay, opponents. Anything else? Glass Casket. That's annoying. That's okay. We can still get around this. Sleight of Hand. Put away another show off, and we'll pass. So thankfully we don't have at least counterspell magic ready to go. But we'll see what our opponent's trying to do here, because it looks like they're just a control deck. Most likely. Maybe? I don't know. Or it could be an artifact deck. Market Gnome, okay. That's cute. Metacant Core, okay. So they are an artifact deck with robots. But we cannot let that sit, so... Or Steel Cutter. There we go. Now we can get this going. Take our token. And we'll slide a hand for now because I want to start pumping these up. We'll push through the damage no matter what. Do you block opponents? They do. Anything else? No? Okay, well. I guess we'll get in that free damage while we can. Yeah, we'll get another show off. Okay, down to 8. Nice. Okay, come on. Can we do this here? Perilous Snare. I like this card, but not right now when we're going to lose our show off. Alright. Okay, so let's see. Can we do this here? No, we'll do this way. We'll pass here. It's tempting to go off right here, but I want to see if they either tap out or they do something else. They got tons of mana. Perilous Snare again. Okay, so I think I know how we can pull this off here. So the Steel Cutter goes bye-bye for a moment, but that's okay. We have a Flood Moss, so that can help us out. Oh, never mind. We also have another Steel Cutter here. Okay. Let's see. How do we do this here, then? Can we win here? Is there a way to get through this? Okay. So, here's how we do this. Into the... No. I'm trying to see what we can do to get the max amount of value on here. Show off. We will bounce away. Bounce away a Perilous Snare. And then stock up. There we go. We'll get out the Shivan Reef and another Flood Maw. Flood Maw. And there we go. Bounce away the Market Gnome. We got the win there out of nowhere. All right, all right. Woo! Wow. All right, and we rank up a little bit there. Nice. All right, feel good. Okay, so from here, I think, yeah, we'll just jump to best of 3s for the remainders. That should probably give us maybe like 2 or 3 matches, and we can end it there. So with that, we're going to now jump to best of 3 with our upgraded deck. All right, let's load it up and see what we can do. Feeling good. Feeling good. Okay. Still loading up here. Okay, while we're loading up our match here, let's... I'm just going to ask all y'all a question. What do you think is going to be the breakout card from Final Fantasy if y'all haven't seen them yet? Aside from that Sephiroth card, there's definitely a lot of cool legendary stuff that I know we can build a ton, and I do mean a ton, of actual Brawl/Commander decks with. So I'm looking forward to building a lot of stuff this summer with these cards. It should be definitely a lot of fun. All right, in the meantime, put down the mountain. I'll pass. Okay, opponent, show me what you got. Bring it on. Nothing? Oh, I forgot that's a tap land. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say here. Verge. So let's see here. I think we'll do it this way this time. Show off again. Spotting it. We have a Challenge and a Corey Steel Cutter. So let's see. Dragon Storm, okay. Life gain and drain. That's okay. We can deal with that. So, looks like it'll be our tried and true method here. This time around, we'll switch it up. Do a little extra damage here. Down to 19. We'll get the token on the next turn, because we also can put down Storm Chaser's Talent. Okay, opponent is getting their ramp on. At least it's a different deck this time around. Sneaky Toilet, you know me. I love my planeswalkers. Yeah, I know you do. Okay, this is awkward. We didn't get quite a land yet, but that's okay. We can still do some heavy damage here. Otter. I guess we'll just Burst Lightning to face. But this does turn on things here. 7 damage. You're down to 10. All right, almost there. I don't know if there's going to be a Planeswalker in the Final Fantasy one, because I guess it thematically doesn't make sense. So this might be a set we will not see Planeswalkers. I mean, that probably explains why the Sephiroth card has an emblem-like ability. It kind of feels like a Planeswalker in my opinion. But yeah. It might be, yeah. We might have to wait until, what is it, the Space Set Edge of Eternities for another Planeswalker. And I know that's probably going to be Tezzeret because he's literally on the packaging itself for the set. Maybe we'll get another cool Planeswalker off of that. Maybe like a brand new space one. That'll be cool if we can get there. All right, so in the meantime, wow, we're not getting our lands. So let's see here. We'll try. Getting a little pump going. Come on, deck. Okay, I'll take that. Nice. All right, in the meantime, opt again. There we go. Make our tokens now. And I guess I would rather probably get us another land, so we'll just do this instead. Okay. I guess Swiss Spear's okay. Big swing here. Opponent, do you block? You do. No? Maybe? Okay, they do want to block that one. Okay. Do we sacrifice that token for the... Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. This is lethal here. Never mind. I think we got it. And there you go. Game 1 to us, everybody. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so with that... They're playing a Golgari deck. I mean, there's not really anything I feel like I want to change with the deck overall. It felt pretty solid with what we're doing. So you know what? We're going to keep as is. In game 2, if we see a little bit more of what they're doing, we'll kind of make adjustments. But we were able to get around most of their stuff, no big deal. So that shouldn't be a problem for us no matter what. Okay, so with that, okay. Show off. We have some counter spells and we could dig a little bit with a sleight of hand. So we're going to keep this for now. We'll be a little bit slower here, but that's okay. Our opponent already knows our game plan. So with that, we'll see if we can get around shenanigans. And pass. All right, opponents. Can you take back things in game 2? Put away the show off for now. So our opponent can get a free turn here. Is that enough for them, though? All right. They use their Omen to get some forests. All right. Vergeland number 2. And well, I guess we'll just do the Burst Lightning thing. Get some early game damage. 10 for 5, down to 15. We're going to keep up the don't make a sound just in case. Do they play anything? Alright, that's fine. We'll take that. Annoying, because it sets us back a couple turns, but that's okay. If they have a dragon, then for sure we can counter that. Alright, come on. What you got, opponents? Maelstrom Pulse. No, no, no! Counterspell that. Whew, okay. So we still have our threat on board. In the meantime... Sleight of hand. I still want to keep that... Okay, Monstrous Rage, that's good. Put down the island. Opt again. Okay, Monstrous Rage again, that's fine. Down to 12. Oh, we're so ready to just finish him off next turn. We should be able to do it. Alright, come on, deck. Just hang in there a little bit longer. Cut down. Okay, If I do this... Not ideal. Unless they have another removal spell. If they have another removal spell, then we can stock up next turn. Cut down again. Monstrous Rage again. Okay. Well, it survives the turn, but we kind of fizzled everything we needed just to get through that. Okay. 3 mana. Maelstrom Pulse. Oh, jeez, they did have it. That's okay, though. We still have options here. Storm Chaser's Talent. Stock up. Okay, so we can get back into this fight this way. Take that Steel Cutter. And what else do we want there? I guess the other stock up it might be fine. Okay, so we could still have a little bit more fuel left, but man, we're feeling a little shaky here. Oh, opponent has a stock up too. All right, let's see. Can they get around it? 2 cards in hand, opponents. Oh, they did not play anything. Okay, well that's great for us. Corey Steel Cutter. Thumb of the Otter. And hold on. No, we gotta wait for a moment. Down to 10. It's tempting to try and do stuff here, but I want him to keep that counterspell up just in case. Okay, that's why. That's why we kept the counterspell, everybody. Okay. Phew. Okay, threat down. Okay, in the meantime, now's our chance to stock up. We can get our 2. Okay. Island down. And Burst Lightning. Alright, we're doing it. Down to 3. Okay, next turn, I think we might be able to close it out right here now. If they don't have any life gain, I think we can pull this off. Cut down. Boo. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Really fine regent. Okay. Gain some life, that's fine. We can deal with that. We level 2. And then what do we want? I think we'll take the Monster's Rage. Okay. Monastery Swiftspear. And on the Swiftspear. Okay. Big swing here. Just try to keep it close. As close as possible. Down to 2 still. Man, so close. We might have to go all the way with Storm Chaser's Talent just to see if we can close this out. We just might have to do that. If we can get maybe one more spell, we should be able to close it out. Oh man, it's just been so back and forth here. Deadly Cover Up. Ooh, gross. Man, that hurt. What are they going to pull out? Do they pull out our creature? Do they pull out the Corey Steel Cutter? Our card draw? Oh, what'd they get? Wait. Oh, they got our stock ups. Okay, well, here's how we do this. Level 3. Okay, so anytime now we can play a non-creature spell, we can now just start making a bunch of extra otters. Wow, our opponent has to now go to their creature land to stop us. I mean, they can eat whatever from the graveyard. I mean, we don't really care about that. We just need at least 1 or 2 pieces of card draw, and we should be able to then just beat our opponent down. Oh, they make a food. That kind of slows us down a bit again. That's okay. They ate the food already. All right. Okay. That's good. Okay, so here's how we do this. Corey Steel Cutter. Slide a hand. Make those tokens. And, oh, we fizzled. Not what I wanted to see, but okay. Down to 1. Oh, man. Oh, we've actually fizzled at the worst possible time there. We can still do it, though. It's not like it's over. Corroding Dragonstorm. They drain us again. They're back up to 3. It's actually been a pretty good match so far. What else do they have? They have 1 card in hand. They don't know we have a land, but I think we might be able to get there. Oh, and that's it, everybody. They had nothing else in hand. Victory for us. Victory. Yeah. All right. Woo. Okay. So I think, well, I mean, okay, I'm looking at the clock right now. I think that might actually have to be the end right there, everybody. I know I said I might try to do one more, but again, I want to make sure that I also want to close this out on time because my time today is a little tighter than normal. So we're going to have to kind of make sure I don't go over too much. But otherwise, I think that pretty much kind of gives us an idea that this deck is amazing. I mean, it literally is the best deck in Standard, and I can understand why now. So with that, let's talk about the budget version for just a second here. So you tell me in the comments below, everybody, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? And to be honest, you could definitely play the best deck with just basics. I mean, we do end up having some clunky moments here, but it's not the worst. Would I argue that maybe some cheap tap duels might help you out? I would say at least maybe one set. That's probably where the only change I would probably argue is. Maybe throw in, if you want to play this on budget, you totally can on Arena. But I would definitely say just at least maybe one set of tapped duels would help you out. And whatever that may be, if you're on a budget, it's mostly going to look like... It kind of depends. Like, if you feel like you need more life gain, the Swiftwater Cliffs are perfectly fine. If you want to, Eroded Canyons will do a little bit of extra damage, which can help you out sometimes in some matches. Or if you want to, Peculiar Lighthouse here can help you out, especially if you have a more aggro game plan because of how this deck works. I would say you really... I mean, there's not really any wrong one here. It kind of just depends on what the meta is doing. So if you want to keep the budget for now, the Lighthouse will be a little bit more situational. So this may be tapped, this may be untapped. It really kind of depends. The Canyon, for sure, will always give you the 1 point of damage, which might help you out close out a game. Swiftwater Cliffs may also give you the 1 life that helps you stabilize. So there's not really a perfect choice here. Your mileage will vary no matter what you do. For me personally, if I had to pick on the spot, I probably would pick the Canyon. And the reason for that is that 1 point of damage, as you can see, we've had so many matches where you came close with just maybe 1 or 2 points we just need to close it out with. So that's kind of where I would say. The life gain can help you out, but you most likely want to be more aggro. So that's where I would recommend get the Canyons. Now, of course, if you can afford it, then yes, this is definitely the best deck if you can afford to spend the extra rares and mythics. So totally do that. I mean, at the very least, even if you don't play this version of Izzet, the rare lands will still be helpful for you for other decks across other formats. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. You really honestly can't. So definitely say, if you can afford it, by all means play it. If you're a fan of spell slinging, making tokens, going big and going wide, definitely play this. Or at the very least, maybe you do like the deck tech that we put up yesterday, because I did put up yesterday a Jeskai version that I kind of showed off on there. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. It's currently up right now on YouTube right now. And that one at least kind of splashes white. So it's kind of a little bit more the traditional one. The only major difference with this version is we're going with white to get Monastery Mentor, Lorentz Escape for better protection, and Homestead Courage can be doubled up because of the flashback ability. So try out either one of those if you're a fan of just prowess in general. They're all fun decks, no matter how I would say it. And I definitely had a lot of fun with today's deck. I can definitely understand why some people hate the deck, but for me, this is definitely my style of gameplay, so I enjoyed it. And hopefully if you do too, check out the links that, again, I will leave for these for my versions of the best deck in Standard in the details at the very end. But otherwise, as far as what's to come in the future, for those of you that are still here for a little bit longer, thanks again for sticking around for the very end, my fire friends, because as always, because you're my true fire friends, you kind of get a little idea as to what's to come. So for those of you out there, and this time I'm actually going to show you the deck itself just for a moment. I'm still sculpting it a little bit more, but otherwise are going to go back into the Basically series. If those of you who are unaware, I put together over the past year an entire set of 60 card decks across every single color combination you can think of. Monocolored, 2, 3, 4, and 5 color decks, even one colorless deck, are all available for you for the Pioneer format. That entire list is available on the front page of my channel, so check those out if you haven't done so already, if you want to play Magic at a super budget level. But I decided we're now going to dive into Brawl/Commander versions that are also ultra budget. So basic Quala here is going to be our first one. So gonna get a quick little sneak peek. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because, again, I'm gonna make a whole video about this that it's gonna go live next week. So we're kind of still sculpting a little bit here, but we're definitely gonna be getting into this next week on stream. So not on stream. It'll be a full regular YouTube video. But don't worry, we'll still do, of course, something in the future similar to this. So that's will be the first one in that 100 deck. I'm sorry, 100 color. Cannot say words right now. 100 card deck for Brawl. So we'll be doing Brawl versions of these ultra budget decks over the next several months as we start building them up. Otherwise, anything else coming down the future for the next stream, I'm looking at doing the Timeless Tokens deck. I'm really in a token mood right now. I don't know why. I just am. So our Timeless Tokens deck is going to be our deck that we'll be doing on the weekend. So check that out in the future. As far as that, once we get a little bit more into Final Fantasy, as we were winding down Tarkir Dragonstorm, I have an all 5-color dragon deck on a budget that we'll definitely throw up and have some fun with. So this one's definitely going to be the finale for that. Beyond that, yeah, I might do some more freestyle stuff out here, or we might actually see if we can try to start scheduling up that day that we can then open it up to every one of you out there. In other words, if there's going to be there'll be a one stream day where I'll set it up and I'll make sure I have a very good time for you guys, where you can take me on with any deck you would like to play against. So we'll have a little bit of fun with the community for at least another day or so. So that'll be down the line in the future, just before we get to Final Fantasy. But that's pretty much it for today, everybody. I still had a lot of fun today, and hopefully you did too. So have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day wherever it's at, afternoon or evening or whatever. And again, we'll have a chance to do this again over the weekend. As always, I will post that up across socials as to what time the next stream is. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, the only other final thing I want to say is one more time, thank you to everybody for your support today. And again, we'll get a chance to do this again very soon. But as always, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again soon, everybody. Later.